to SOUQ Business Landscape. It's another lovely edition. My name is Hans Mbah. I want to say thank you for being on the show as usual. Like we say on the aisle and SOUQ News Television, the weekend starts on Thursday. So if you're just TGIFing, you're running late. Okay? So this is the show where we get on social media, we get on YouTube, and we engage with business headlines from across the world, continent to continent. But our focus is Africa and how those headlines affect us positively and how we might be able to take some of those great things happening in other climes and apply to ourselves. It's the opener for us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We remember to tell you that. So we'll jump right in. We start from Kenya. Business Daily. It says, Treasury stares at 510 billion shillings hole as tax laws collapse. So government heads to the Supreme Court and some taxes to rise to a result of ruling. You can find that in Business Daily. Next headline. EABL pays 11 billion shilling loans to tame high interest costs. Right, so EABL, that's East Africa brewer, the main brewer in Kenya, that's paid their debt back. This is a huge one, 11 billion, which was mainly taken last year on a short-term basis to settle daily due taxes that came to them as a result of the elections, Ruto's elections that came and all the backlash from it. And it was a deliberate move to help cushion itself from the impact of heightened interest rates. And I guess that works for them. 11 billion shillings is a lot of money. Another headline, horticulture exports rises to 47 billion shillings in the first quarter. This is helped by the weakening of the shilling, which has made up for reduced quantities shipped to Europe and other markets. We'll go on to South Africa, still on the continent. Business Day. Maputo snaps up Durban's tourists. Southern cities, bad reputation, and port delays diverting businesses. Maputo snaps up Durban's tourists. So this is one of the big things happening in South Africa. One of the ways that the economy is rising and growing in leaps and bounds, tourism, and Maputo is taking advantage of this. The next headline, Society plans own electoral reform team. So NGOs object the official electoral reform panel, saying that it is biased. And bias is not a good thing when it comes to such a scheme that's reform that has to do with electoral reforms. Third headline, still on Business Day, South Africa. How AI will redefine market research. This is one of the articles that was carefully selected for viewing and to have you guys pay attention to it. And AI is quite big right now. Artificial intelligence continues to redefine itself in corporate realms, especially, particularly in the field of market research. So people are getting into it, how you write copies, how you get ideas about the original idea you already have, and things of that nature. Before we, yes, you can find out on page 6. I had to tell you that quick. AI is still thriving. So before we go further to the next headline, the next publication, it's still business. SOUQ Business Landscape, I beg your pardon. Hashtag SBL. Remember that as you engage and interact with us on social media, on the headlines that strike you, that speaks to you, as we move on to the next publication, Business Standard, Bangladesh. Tata Motors profits zooms 74% on material cost reduction. So Tame, as is popularly called, they consolidated their net profit increase 74%, a humongous leap. And this just ended this June 2024 quarter that just passed. aided by robust performance by its flagship brand, Jaguar Land Rover. A lot of people don't know that Tata Motors owned Jaguar Land Rover. This is what they get from, they have gotten the 74% leap from that international, or should I say, flagship brand, as well as domestic businesses that they're into. Next headline, Ola raises 2,763 Creole from anchor investors. So Ola Electric is, we talked about it on the show a couple of editions ago. They switched from making electric vehicles to making electric scooters, which is the most popular means of transportation in India. So Ola is the largest electric two-wheeler maker. Yesterday, they allotted 364 million shares to their anchor investors in order to mop up these 2,763 query that we just talked about. The allotment was made based on 76 lakhs a piece. This is their top-end price brand. We're talking about the scooters now. Great incentive for Tata Motors. Next headline, government capex rural demand to push sales, says the CEO, the M&M CEO and MD. So when asked about the government's nudge for private companies to invest in new capacities, the MD, Anish Shah, said the group has already raised its automobile division capacity by 3 times in the last 4 years. So it's not something he is considering anytime soon. On to Qatar, Gulf Times, Qatar Central Bank, QCB's sustainability strategy to develop ESG sukuk and bonds, says Fitch. Fitch is the head of that branch, the group. Next headline, QNB holds workshop with Snapchat to enhance digital engagement strategies. Snapchat being one of the foremost social media networks that most of the people, especially the millennials, that constitutes the largest population, are on that, and they're talking with them to see how they can raise their incomes. Next headline, Saudi Arabia nears end of economic slump lasting 4 quarters. Saudi Arabia nears end of economic slump lasting 4 quarters. It's strange to see Saudi Arabia talking about a slump, especially in the economy, because in the GCC, amongst the GCC countries, they're known to be one of the high flyers, closely followed by Qatar and other countries like Oman and Co. We're on to London. Financial Times. BOE in first rate cuts for 4 years as confidence on inflation mounts. So careful notch is down by 5%. Knife edge vote seals decision and boosts to Labour's growth drive. Labour is one of their topmost drive in that sector. Next, Intel shares fall 20% on plans to cut 15,000 jobs. Ooh. So when we hear job cuts here, especially for companies such as Intel, Intel is one of the top chip makers for computers and phones, and they're one of the highest employers of labor. So for them to cut 15%, it's quite a fall, a slide. US chip maker says it will also reduce capital spending as its turnaround strategy hits another setback. That's strange. Next headline, life lessons for AI from the primordial swamp. Life lessons for AI from the primordial swamp. You could check this out on page 12 of the publication. We always like to bring our notice to AI when it's on these headlines, because that's the future and everyone needs to be involved. It's either you ship in or you ship out. So catch that headline, page 12 of the publication. Next one, India, the Business Post. Remittances fall 3.24% year on year to $1.91 billion in July. Remittances in India fall, and this is quite a slide as compared to last year and what the numbers was. Next headline: Telecom ICT sectors suffered 18,000 lakhs crore loss, and telecoms ICT sectors, these are they're following the banks closely, and they are actually talking about losses, which is not something that is good news for them and for other countries in the area that are in business with them. Next headline: BTMA urges government for loan relief amidst financial crisis. BTMA urges government for loan relief amidst financial crisis. That's still in India, and they're talking loans. If only we could do without these loans, where we have angel investors come through, we have personal partners come through and invest in these businesses, we will see better. We've come to the end of the show this morning. SOUQ Business Landscape. Remember to interact with us on the headlines that speak to you, that addresses your businesses, your economy from wherever you are in the part of the world. My name is Hans Mbah. See you same time next week, Monday, as we delve right into it with some exciting new analysts. Thanks for staying with us on SOUQ News Television.